Have you ever glanced in the reflection, dressed in something that previously made you feel vibrant, and wondered, why does this look different now? Perhaps it's that botanical print shirt or the horizontally lined top you once cherished. Here's the reality few mention. What enhances your figure at 30 might not celebrate your elegance at 60. Certain patterns, regardless of how current or timeless they seem, can add years, create a wider appearance, or detract from your inherent sophistication. But there's uplifting news. You don't need to abandon patterns entirely. In truth, the appropriate designs can brighten your complexion, lengthen your frame, and make your aura truly memorable in the most positive manner. In this presentation, we will reveal 7 patterns that frequently work against ladies over 60, and crucially, suggest alternatives. I will demonstrate how to exchange dated selections for contemporary, refined patterns that mirror the self-assurance and flair you've cultivated over time. So if you're prepared to dress with purpose, allure, and timeless grace, stay tuned until the conclusion. This insight will permanently alter your perspective on your wardrobe. 1. Tiny pattern overload. It appears lovely, delicate, and whimsical. But consider if that intricate small design on your preferred dress is precisely why your ensemble feels discordant. Tiny patterns, those minuscule, densely replicated motifs like miniature florals, flecks, or spots, might look appealing on the rack. Yet when worn, the impact shifts. Rather than enhancing your silhouette, they can dominate it. And instead of imparting youthfulness, they might inadvertently make you appear fatigued or even more mature. Why does this occur? As we mature, our skin's tone mellows, our facial characteristics soften, and patterns that are excessively small or dense tend to generate visual noise. It resembles interference on a TV screen. The eye finds it hard to locate a central point, diverting focus from your natural allure. The pattern claims the spotlight while you recede. One observer, Elizabeth, 67, shared, "I put on this charming blouse adorned with minuscule navy and white blossoms. I believed it appeared sophisticated, but in every photograph from that day, I looked exhausted and my bearing seemed slumped, though I wasn't." That served as an eye-opener. Here's the underlying principle. Small, dense patterns interrupt the vertical visual continuity. Instead of making the body seem longer, they segment it. This impact is amplified on flowing textiles or unstructured cuts. Consequently, your natural contours might seem indistinct, and attention gravitates towards the pattern instead of the overall form. Factor in mature skin, which might possess texture or variations in pigment, and the visual distraction only intensifies. However, the remedy is straightforward and effective. Exchange the overload for lucidity. Opt for larger, well-distributed patterns that allow space between the design elements. Envision sophisticated palm fronds gently cascading across a cream backdrop, or striking polka dots. Not minuscule ones, but medium-sized, spaced perfectly to guide the eye, not bewilder it. Geometric designs also perform remarkably well, particularly when set against solid, neutral foundations like taupe, muted blue, or cozy ivory. These hues help temper the pattern's visual intensity and lend you an inner radiance. And here's an extra advantage. These clearer, more structured patterns draw the eye upward, forming a subtle vertical line that can discreetly slenderize and lengthen your silhouette. When you wear these patterns, you remain visible. You're showcased in the most flattering way possible. Style pointer. Complement these patterns with understated, simple accessories, a gentle gold earring, a leather purse in a subdued shade. Allow your pattern to contribute just enough, no more, no less. Because post-60, you've merited the right to be noticed, not overlooked. And keep in mind, the pattern itself isn't inherently the issue. It's about how it honors or diverts attention from the wearer. So, the next time you're perusing clothing racks, inquire, does this pattern enhance my presence or compete for attention? When the response is distinct, so is your style. 2. The horizontal line dilemma. Horizontal lines might seem spirited and contemporary, but they can represent one of the most deceptive options for women over 60. While often linked with a casual maritime feel, the reality is they can subtly yet significantly counteract your natural shape. When lines are narrow, tightly spaced, and feature high contrast colors like black and white, they tend to visually expand the figure, particularly around the torso, waist, and hips. Instead of lengthening your form, they can make you seem shorter and more rectangular. And when positioned near the face, they might draw focus to areas you prefer to de-emphasize, such as the neckline or shoulders, disrupting the look's overall harmony. But here's the encouraging part. Lines don't have to be forbidden. The key is selecting the appropriate type. Vertical lines are your greatest allies. They naturally direct the eye upward and downward, producing a lengthening outcome that makes you appear taller and more composed. Even better, choose lines in softer, low-contrast hues such as beige on cream, gentle gray on ivory, or pale blue on white. These pairings impart sophistication without demanding notice. You could also contemplate broad, well-separated lines in pastel shades. These not only feel more current and refined, but also assist in crafting a more graceful contour across your body. Consider a light pink shirt with soft white vertical lines tucked into high-rise slacks. It's chic, flattering, and ageless. For heightened elegance, incorporate lines into structured pieces like jackets, A-line skirts, or fitted dresses. When matched with sharp silhouettes and high-quality materials, they enhance your ensemble without dominating it. In fashion, equilibrium is essential. Coordinate your lined item with solid, neutral colors, like a lined shirt with cream pants or a pinstripe midi skirt with a fitted navy blouse. Maintain minimal yet polished accessories. A nude heel, a delicate gold bracelet, or a soft leather tote completes the appearance with sophistication and simplicity. Ultimately, it's not about shunning lines but understanding their effect. The correct lines can slim, lengthen, and elevate your entire look. So the next time you consider that line top, ask yourself, is this enhancing me or hindering me? Select deliberately, and let your style convey confidence and poise. 3. Excessive tropical patterns. Tropical patterns are frequently regarded as the epitome of youthfulness, enjoyment, and vitality. Vivid flowers, lush foliage, explosions of fruit and color. They evoke sunshine and relaxed moments. But when you're past 60, abundance isn't invariably superior. In reality, sporting overly elaborate tropical patterns can produce the reverse effect of your intention. Imagine this: a dress saturated with oversized neon blossoms, overlaid with palm trees, exotic birds, and pineapples. It might be suitable for a getaway, but in everyday situations, it can engulf your figure, clash with your natural attributes, and detract from your sophistication. The problem with dense tropical patterns isn't merely stylistic, it's about congruence. These hectic, intensely colored designs can disrupt the equilibrium of your silhouette, pulling focus from your face and generating visual disarray around your midriff or hips, areas many women aim to soften. But here's the positive aspect. You don't need to forego tropical themes completely. You simply need to redirect the emphasis. Opt for tropical themes that have room to breathe. Seek out pastel shades, gentle botanical motifs, or single-color florals with ample space between each element. Consider blush pink orchids on a subdued ivory field or sage green palm leaves drifting over a beige linen textile. These patterns don't shout, they murmur refinement. Envision a cream wrap dress featuring dusty rose leaf sketches, teamed with pearl studs and nude sandals, or perhaps a sleeveless button front shirt with delicate sky blue plant designs tucked into high-waisted pants. These items feel current, airy, and suitably mature in the most complementary fashion. And don't overlook the impact of placement. A tropical pattern restricted to an accessory like a scarf, a belt, or the border of a skirt can inject the ideal measure of character without consuming the whole outfit. Utilizing patterns strategically empowers you to manage the narrative, rather than letting the pattern dictate it. Here's the essential point. Your presence should always take precedence. Attire ought to accentuate your vitality, not rival it. Dominating patterns can make you seem as though you're exerting too much effort. Conversely, the appropriate tropical pattern, one that is balanced, light, and deliberate, will make you feel buoyant, self-assured, and naturally chic. So the next time you find yourself attracted to a dress resembling something from a tourist shop, pause and ponder. Is this invigorating my appearance or depleting it? Because authentic style after 60 isn't defined by boisterous declarations. It's about mastering the art of speaking softly yet still commanding attention. 4. The polka dot predicament. She believed it was delightful. A delicate polka dot frock, charming footwear, soft waves in her hair. She entered the space beaming, until an acquaintance leaned in and remarked, "You look precious, just like a tween." That single observation altered her perspective entirely. Herein lies the issue with minuscule, dense polka dots. They frequently project youthfulness inappropriately. Instead of emphasizing grace and worldliness, they can diminish your stature, making you appear younger, but not in an appealing, enduring manner, more in an overly sweet, overly gentle, overly hesitant fashion. It's not about steering clear of polka dots altogether, it's about employing them thoughtfully. Tiny, repetitive dots can introduce visual confusion. They lack structure, and on fine fabrics, they can feel more suited to a playground than a poised setting. They might even flatten your silhouette, especially when printed on loose or shapeless clothing. So what represents a more astute selection? Transition to larger, uniformly spaced dots, ideally on darker canvases like navy or deep gray, featuring lighter dots in ivory, blush, or soft white. This arrangement still offers a playful acknowledgement of vintage allure, but now communicates with sophistication and maturity. Desire something even more refined? Explore monochromatic dots, subtle textured designs where the pattern doesn't clamor but whispers elegance. A matte silk dress in taupe with gentle gloss dots in the same hue can be captivating without being obtrusive. Also, contemplate how the garment's cut and material interact with the pattern. A midi skirt crafted from a structured fabric adorned with bold dots signals a style authority. A formless dress with tiny dots suggests trying excessively hard to appear youthful. If you are drawn to dots, as many women are, honor that inclination. But select dots that align with your current energy, not who you were years ago. You're not aiming to look merely cute. You're aiming to appear confident, sophisticated, and fully empowered. Let your chosen patterns reflect that reality. 5. Animal motifs misapplied. Animal motifs can project fierceness, fabulousness, and abundant personality, but only when deployed with careful consideration. Overdo it, and what began as fashion-forward can swiftly degenerate into fashion overload. Visualize this. A head-to-toe leopard print dress rendered in gleaming gold shades. It's audacious, certainly, but not in a complimentary sense. Rather than radiating confidence, it submerges the wearer in a deluge of visual turmoil. The eye struggles to find a resting place, and sophistication vanishes amidst the clamor. The problem doesn't lie with animal print per se. It rests in its application. At its finest, animal print concerns texture and hue, not commandeering the entire ensemble. Mature fashion emphasizes refinement, which entails knowing when to whisper and when to assert boldly. So, how does one achieve the correct balance? Begin with subdued palettes. Consider warm earth tones, beige, taupe, deep brown, and soft black. These colors integrate seamlessly into classic wardrobes, while injecting a hint of drama precisely where needed. Next, reduce the scale and positioning. Instead of an all-over print, anchor your look with a single animal-inspired item. A cheetah print scarf, a zebra clutch, or a leopard jacket layered over a neutral foundation. Let it serve as the focal point, not the entire narrative. Furthermore, prioritize texture over high contrast. Subtle embossed designs, monochromatic animal prints, or gently faded patterns can evoke the essence of animal print without being ostentatious. It represents the sophisticated method of embracing untamed energy with absolute poise. Pair your chosen print with structured neutrals, a cream shirt, tailored tan slacks, or a black sheath dress to establish visual equilibrium. Minimalist accessories, polished footwear, and understated makeup finalize the look without vying for attention. The essential takeaway: animal prints possess potency, but power need not be loud. Executed correctly, they declare, "I am self-aware, and I require no validation." So wear your spots or stripes with pride, but ensure they enhance your appearance, rather than detract from it. 6. Discordant color overload. Let's acknowledge it. Color possesses immense influence. It can illuminate your day, boost your spirits, and even articulate your character without uttering a syllable. But concerning prints featuring loud, clashing colors, a delicate boundary exists between appearing lively and seeming inundated. You might own a blouse in neon yellow with hot pink highlights that once felt playful but now causes your complexion to look pallid or accentuates every line you'd rather obscure. Or perhaps a vivid turquoise and orange floral dress that formerly felt vibrant now seems somewhat excessive. This isn't attributable to aging. It's because those specific colors no longer harmonize with you. High contrast, high saturation color combinations can inadvertently make features appear older by diverting focus from your natural radiance toward the garment itself. They tend to overpower the outfit rather than complementing the wearer. Here's the reasoning behind this phenomenon. Stark contrast near the face, such as black and white stripes or bright red and green, generates severe visual boundaries. This sharpens focus on texture, encompassing fine lines, under-eye shadows, or uneven skin coloration. Instead of accentuating your smile or eyes, the observer's gaze is drawn to the pattern's commotion. So what is the answer? Color concord. Initiate with tone-on-tone color schemes. These involve blends of analogous shades within the identical color group. For instance, light lavender paired with deep plum, soft sky blue matched with navy, beige combined with camel or warm brown hues. These understated pairings foster fluidity, not discord. Your ensemble feels harmonious, and your face rightfully regains its status as the primary focus. Another sophisticated choice involves ombre or watercolor effect prints, where colors transition smoothly from one to another. These patterns are visually soothing, flattering against the skin, and contemporary without being jarring. They imply motion and dimensionality without being loud. And don't neglect the final element, texture over stark color. If you desire your outfit to feel opulent and expressive, select accessories with natural textures. A woven straw tote, hammered metal earrings, a soft suede belt, or a cotton linen blend shirt. These components lend your look depth without necessitating extreme color differences. Thus, the conclusion is this. You don't need to wear every shade imaginable to be noticed. You don't require high-intensity neon to feel youthful. You simply need the right colors, those that enhance your features, harmonize with your skin tone, and permit your intrinsic elegance to radiate. Because authentic style doesn't shout, it whispers self-assurance. 7. Abstract designs gone awry. A slender demarcation exists between fashion that communicates and fashion that shrieks. Abstract patterns aim to convey originality, distinctiveness, even a hint of modern sensibility. Yet, when mishandled, they achieve the reverse. They obscure you. Visualize yourself before the mirror clad in a top covered with disorganized paint splatters, conflicting colors like neon orange, teal, violet, and black merging without shape or rhythm. It's intended to appear artistic, but instead your form is lost, your facial features seem sterner, and the entire ensemble gives the impression of wearing you. Here's the reality seldom articulated. Abstract doesn't invariably equate to elegant, particularly for women over 60, whose allure resides in poise, simplicity, and presence. When the design is overly cluttered, the colors excessively loud, and the lines too unpredictable, it generates visual disarray, not ingenuity. It conceals your most attractive attributes, adds perceived volume where none exists, and detracts from the innate harmony of your figure. But don't abandon abstract designs entirely, because abstract can function splendidly when applied thoughtfully. Let's alter the approach. Exchange the chaotic jumbles for geometric abstraction, patterns that retain a modern feel but possess structure. Consider gently angled forms, flowing curves, or layered designs that direct the eye rather than perplexing it. These patterns can help lengthen the torso, accentuate the waist, or soften the shoulders, contingent upon their placement. Color selection is another understated yet potent factor. Instead of high-contrast bursts, opt for harmonious palettes. Blush and beige, navy and cream, olive and soft gold. These combinations still capture attention but soothe rather than startle. You want observers to appreciate your style, not strain to decipher it. And the placement of the abstract element matters significantly too. Centrally focused prints, especially on the torso or upper chest, can establish a lovely focal point without dominating the remainder of the body. A blouse featuring a tasteful, centered brushstroke design paired with high-waisted pants generates lift and airiness. Or attempt a midi skirt with abstract placement that narrows towards the hemline. It subtly guides the eye downward, adding movement without disorder. Wish to be bolder? Confine the abstract element to your accessories. A scarf with a contemporary motif, a clutch bearing a painterly print, or even earrings inspired by abstract forms. This method introduces flair without compromising balance. Texture can also complement abstract designs beautifully. A top with a sleek abstract pattern pairs best with linen trousers, suede footwear, or a woven handbag. These tactile contrasts anchor the look, rendering it deliberate and refined. Ultimately, the message is straightforward. Don't permit the pattern to usurp your prominence. You are the artwork, and the clothing should merely augment your radiance, not obscure it. After 60, fashion isn't about pursuing fleeting fads. It's about cultivating confidence. So if you choose to wear abstract designs, let them reflect your authentic self. Bold, wise, and effortlessly commanding your narrative. She emerges from the dressing area. Poised, luminous, and collected. Her attire? Uncomplicated. A fluid blouse in gentle hues, matched with tailored trousers that enhance every contour. No clamor, no disarray, just serene sophistication. Yet, what truly captures attention isn't the ensemble. It's her self-assurance. Her expression conveys it all. I am self-aware, and I elect to display it. Because style after 60 isn't concerned with chasing trends. It's about mastering the craft of selection. It involves recognizing which patterns bolster your natural beauty and which ones subtly commandeer the focus. It signifies dressing not to impress others, but to respect yourself, your comfort, your preferences, your personal history. Elegance doesn't proclaim loudly. It whispers through sharp silhouettes, considered color schemes, and patterns that elevate rather than engulf. And when you dress with such purpose, people observe not just your attire, they observe you.